Welcome. Believe it or not, what day of the week is it, Odie?
And it is hump day, and we're halfway through.
Yes, we are. Christmas time's a coming. We'll have to see what the countdown to Christmas is. Can y'all believe that we're talking?
It's too close.
Yeah. October the 21st, we're going to have all the big doings in Meridian as we get ready for Bud and Burgers, a lot of costume parties, and I think the parade is going to be that day. I'll check into all of that. Then we'll have our next one. Don't we have fall break?
Yeah, they've got fall break.
It's coming up next week, right?
I believe so. Yeah,
for the kids.
Yeah, it sure is.
Because that was hello.
Yeah.
And then we'll be headed toward Thanksgiving, believe it or not. Time to,
and then you got another break for Thanksgiving, a whole week for bird. Remember, we used to only get
2 days.
2 days. Thursday and Friday.
That's right. Things have changed.
Yeah.
Well, as we get with this, of course, the big headline that will come out of yesterday. Let me pull this up as we get the election was held yesterday in all the county schools, and we have to say, fantastic. Nothing went wrong. We had plenty of police, sheriff's department on location at every school. There was no issues whatsoever. Thank goodness.
Now, I only went to West Lauderdale. I didn't go anywhere else. So I was curious of how it was going to be done. Walk in the front door, and we're right there in the corridor. The hallways were blocked off, so you couldn't see down the hallways where the kids were in school or anything. And everything took place right there. You signed in, which they had like 6 tables. I went up to the bees, and she opened it up, went right to me, said, "There you are." I signed in and went and did my little deal and put it in the scanner, and that was it. So we didn't have to walk all over. So I'm not sure about these other schools. It was right there. And my granddaughter was there that day at school, and I had no problem with it. Now,
I know that a lot of schools, there were students, a whole lot of students out. Some parents just didn't feel safe with that and chose to keep their children home, and that's your right. You should be able to do that. Oh, yeah,
I have nothing against. If you kept your child home, I have zero against that at all. That's 100% your call.
Right.
And no, I don't. There's nothing at all about that you should be ashamed of.
Here we are. This is the results from last night as we get a letter as well from John Mark. As we look at this, those that were for the bond issue, 871 voted for this. Against it, 4,299. As we do the breakdown on this, Odie, as you'll see the percentages there.
83% came out and said no, that they're not in favor of this. And the more people we talk to, the more people we hear, I'm not against the program as much as I'm against how this was handled.
Now, again, from the beginning of this, it has been said, don't think that, this is over and the kids aren't getting it. This program is moving forward. They just have to do it on a lower budget, what everybody wanted in the beginning.
I don't think we're going to have this beautiful, fancy facade on the building. I think everything can.
Yeah, are you saying no latte? Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, darn.
Bring your coffee from
your cup and
bring it on in and do it. But I think that's. Now I've heard this. 9th grade hall for Meridian. They had the same type of vote. And it got voted down.
What school? Meridian High?
Meridian High. I think it was the 9th grade hall that they did this when they built the 9th grade hall at the main high school campus. Then they came back and it fell through. And it wasn't very long they waited and they says, all right, we're going to do this again. And they brought it back up and it passed that time. I had some concerns that people say, now what are they going to try and push this through on the general election and see if it passes there?
I hadn't heard that.
Don't know what that's going, if they're going to do it. Don't know if they're wanting to push it back through, but I don't think if it was completely reconstructed and not $12 million, I think a lot of people would support it, but they do want an itemized.
Oh, yeah, we learned so much. And number one coming out of this is take care of Clarkdale.
Yeah, Clarkdale had 14% of the people for it.
Give us our breakdowns of the different school districts of how that turned out.
So at West Lauderdale, we had 319 for it, 1,583 against it, which about 20% of West Lauderdale wanted it. Clarkdale had 100 for it and 715 against it, and had about 14% for it.
Yeah.
Northeast, 256 for it, 1,202 against it. That was about 21%.
So they had kind of the highest vote for it.
They had the highest vote for it. Southeast had 129 for it and 746 against it, and that was about 17%. Now, these totals are without the 380 absentees.
Correct.
But then the total of 871 for it.
The 42.99 does include the absentee ballots. So that's what we've got on that. That's official now. This has been laid to rest in John Mark's letter. We've got that posted. I hope y'all will go read that. It's time to move forward, and I do hope everything will do with this. More coming. Y'all mark this on your calendars. More coming from the mold issues that are at Clarkdale. I think that's going to be said. And rumors that, and merely rumors at this point, of some consolidation going on in the county. We don't know any more than that, but lots of talk of that I hear. We'll see what becomes of it. If it becomes actual talk, we'll bring it up and make sure that you're informed of this as it moves forward. We're not going to leave you in the dark in any shape, form, or way.
And try and have some more discussions on particular topics. Have discussions that deal with the mold, and that's it, just the mold. Have some discussions on the construction of building. I think they call that building 300.
I've heard that said a lot
out there. So we're going to go with that.
You know, the main thing is you can be told no, but if you're explained to why there's a no on something or why there's a delay, you understand it a little. It's kind of like the Meridian Police Department that never tells you anything. Well, you get kind of upset at it, and people take their own narrative as to what's going on when you don't tell them anything. To where from the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department, they're always on tap, telling me what's going on. This is why we made the arrest. This is what we done. This is what we're going to do this weekend. Same thing as I go to Newton County. Always a step ahead as I go to Clark. Sometimes Kemper helps us out, but most of our counties are on this, and that's what we've got to get with this, and that's where all of the discussion came about down at Clarkdale. They just didn't know.
Well, I've had to, being in this position, my regular job position, I've had to go through PIO class, public
purchase orders.
I wish I had to go through that too. But public information, and that's something that we had to do and take different classes on it. And every one of them at every level, they tell you get out front, let everybody know what's going on, because if you don't, people will make up their own idea of what's going on, and once that gets out, now you're having to try and push the real deal out and answer why what was pushed out was not right.
Mm-hmm.
Get out in front of it. Let everybody know what's going on. Be truthful about it, and everything will be fine.
Whenever there's a murder, if it happens at 8 a.m. in the morning, by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, there should be a press conference. Said, this is what we know. We haven't called anybody, or maybe you have. But by 3 o'clock, say something. The people want to know. Is that person still on the loose? Have they been caught? We have to wonder a lot of times, don't we? Scotty Ray and Odie, yep. We're going to be right back to fill you in with more information. If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike Reed has years of experience dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, will travel.
Your local farmer knows a good deal when he sees one. The L-Series Kubota tractor is the #1 selling compact tractor in the USA and offered at Parish Kubota with 0% financing available. Come see why we're more than a tractor store at Parish Tractor.
Health Now is your locally owned medical equipment store. Every person's need is a little different, and they offer a little bit of everything from hospital beds, wheelchairs, reclining back wheelchairs, breathing treatments, CPAPs and supplies. They even have walkers, bath products, and oxygen. And the great thing about Health Now is they offer same-day service. They're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on call 24/7. Health Now Medical Equipment, where we treat our patients like family.
Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, along with Odie, as we begin this early Wednesday. And I wanted to say good morning to Miss Rhonda Parker. She's watching us from Cruising the Coast. Coast.
Something like that.
Send us some pictures of what y'all are seeing down there. It's always absolutely gorgeous and so much fun on the coast of Mississippi at that Cruising of the Coast. Every old car that you can imagine is going to be on scene for people to come by and take a look at. I also Denise made a very good point here when she said silence is not always golden.
That is something that speaks very loudly. The more information you get out and explain the good and the bad, people can understand a lot more. Actually, public information done right builds trust with the public. It really does, because the good and the bad's being pushed out there and explanations are there, and people feel more comfortable. It's huge.
Speaking of explanations, let's go ahead and pull this up. As we found out yesterday morning, not long after we got off the air, that we would have our 10th murder. Now, there's a couple of things still going on behind the scenes that this number may go up. In 2022, Meridian within the city had 11 murders. The year before that, and that would have been 21, there were 17 murders. Got all this tracked. We're at 10 murders now with 2 months to go, with the possibility of a few others following in this, taking it to 12. They're not there yet, but we are at 10. As we pull this up, this would be not far from fire station number 1 as we pull this up. In the block of the 2600 block of 17th Street, as we look at this, let's pull this up where you can take a look here. Meridian Police on the scene as we look at this. The streets were blocked. A gentleman was found laying in the street with multiple gunshot wounds, Odie, as we look at this. And as we report on this, how horrible it is for something like this to have happened. Now, what we're being told is people did see the man laying there before it, but they thought he may have had a drink or was sleeping, and they didn't check on him. Before long, somebody did walk up and they go, oh, something's wrong. Police arrived to discover that what's that word?
Rigor mortis.
That word had set in, and he had been there for quite a while. How bad is it that people overlook someone laying there? It's sad. We hate this has happened, but again, this would be due north of fire station number 1, about 3 blocks behind it is where this happened. We pass along condolences to the family members of this man. We don't know the circumstances, and we have not gotten an official statement from the Meridian Police Department. Do they think someone is on the loose doing this? Was this a personal matter? Most likely it was, but we would like to hear the thoughts from the Meridian Police Department on this.
Well, Patty asked a question, has the police chief been invited to come on the show?
Absolutely. Many, many times. I've actually went down to the police station and said, I'd like to see the chief. And I stood there and I said, can I talk to the PO, the spokesperson for the Meridian Police Department? Nothing happened. I have emailed and said, hey, I'd like to meet with you. Absolutely nothing. There was a change, and it is a drastic change of communication there. Does this come from Jimmy Smith's office? Maybe. have I always been told that the police chief is a good person? I have been. But there is no communication. Does this come from her? Does it come from the person that sits between her and Jimmy Smith, the consultant? I don't know, because no one talks to me. And you have to have a spokesperson letting the people. And the thing about it is the Meridian Police Department does so many good things. If there's an open communication, you get to highlight the good things that are also done. You take like the cat thing the other day with the fire department. The police department does so many good things to help citizens. They ought to know about it. But they also, at the same time, deserve to know when there's a crime where we are on that. Waiting 5 days to release, I think it was 5 days, wasn't it, to release any information, which was really nothing, on the young lady being shot 5 times in a parking lot of a Dollar General that didn't tell us anything. Could have been said, that should have been immediately done that day. We don't get that. Not being ugly, these are just facts. Somebody take a note at the Meridian Police Department that is in that upper administration. This isn't the police officers, it's the administration that has to get this out.
We have some of the best police officers.
Yeah, we do.
Great to work with, great people to be around. I love them to death.
There's a lot of questions of the young lady that was found deceased earlier this week, that an autopsy has been ordered on her. Do we know why? No, we don't. Could this fall make number 11? It very well could be. We don't know. I've heard rumors that are being sent to me from, I guess you'd call it, the streets of Meridian, of people that know this person and that person. But there's nothing absolutely been said in any shape, form, or way. Scary. We like to know things is all I'm getting at. But 10 murders, unacceptable. We do expect this to climb in between now and the end of the year. I'd like to tell you that that's it, but I'd be lying, wouldn't I?
Yeah, we don't.
Odie?
We hate for those numbers to keep climbing.
We often talk about wrecks that happen on Highway 39 there at the intersection of 33rd Street. But we've got a different story for you this morning as, well, someone got robbed right down the street from there on the 800 block of 33rd Street. If you were to take a right there, if you're coming into town and were to take a right, this is where this went on. It went on with a knife as we pull this up.
Wow. A
knife was pulled on a person and they were robbed. There's not much more information given on this at this point. They were able to give a description to the police now, and they might have been having a good time at the point of the robbery, but doesn't matter. They were still robbed. And their personal possessions were taken. We don't know what they were. But we do think that the police knows who it is that done the robbery with the knife. Or have they been taken into custody? We have no way of knowing after the incident happened. Yet another thing we'd like to know more about.
Ashley said, I love MPD and will back them any day of the week. I am with you 100%. I back the blue 100%. We have some of the best guys.
Yeah.
We need more of them. But we have some of the best guys. And talking about murder, Christy wanted to know if Kelly Long's death was considered a murder, and I think it was ruled an accidental.
It's ongoing investigation.
Ongoing investigation.
Now, at the original
conclusion
at that moment in the morning, it was ruled accidental. But I do know that there is an ongoing investigation. What does that mean? We have no clue. The Meridian Police Department has not told us from the administration side. But the last word that was given was this is an ongoing investigation.
Wow.
What does it mean? I can't read into it because I have no dots to connect to that. I have thoughts, but thoughts don't mean anything when it comes to actual thing, and I won't go there because we don't know the facts. And that's on a situation like this, we got to have facts. But we deserve to know something also.
Yeah.
So that's where we are on that. We'll be right back, Odie. We got more to talk about, more things that went on in the community yesterday. Fires. Woo, it was hazy yesterday, wasn't it?
It was tough.
We'll be right back.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
Philadelphia Gun and Pawn, located at 910 Posey Avenue, has tons of lawnmowers to choose from. A big selection of zero-turn lawnmowers, power washers, and even barbecue grills. Step inside the line of Liberty safes along with those Browning safes. A large selection of Louis Vuitton purses along with satin shirts and bead sets. And tons to choose from for the outdoorsman in your household. And always a great deal on any type of jewelry you're looking for. And a private lobby for pawns for your confidentiality. Philadelphia Gun and Pawn. Are you looking for a job that could last a lifetime? Structural Steel is hiring now. With employees that have been there from 20 to 40 years, they're family owned and operated since 1975. Competitive starting wages, a 401k package, and great insurance. Immediate openings on the day shift and night shift. From entry-level helpers, welding and tacking, grinding and fitting. And the list goes on of job openings. Start your future today at Structural Steel. Call 483-5381. And welcome back, as we do have one or two birthdays that are trickling in this morning, don't we, Odie?
Yeah, so now we've got Jackie Thompson and her husband celebrating 49 years of marriage.
Oh, ain't that sweet?
That is something. Now, wait a minute.
What
50.
is-
Now, 50. This is your last year. You might want to start using this year to save up some money, because I think 50 is supposed to be something big, isn't it?
You're supposed to have a big party, and that's that gold. Is it golden? Is what it's called?
I think so.
25 is silver. Yeah, if I remember.
Yeah, it's got to be. Got to be. And then a special happy birthday. It's going to go out to Dr. Pam Compton, having a birthday today. And I hope you have a wonderful day today. And have Mr. Compton spoil you. I know he always does. Take you down there to RW's and let him buy you a gun.
A little something special there.
Yeah. Mr. Compton, you cook her a cake today instead of her baking one.
All right, we got something a little suspicious that we're going to report this morning, and I can only say it's suspicious because I don't know the outcome of this as we go to a car fire that happened on Highway 19 South coming into Meridian. Let's pull this up, Odie, as we look here. This would be right at the intersection just north of Highway 496. Callers would call the Meridian Police Department, Fire Department, and say, look, there's a car fire. As they arrived on scene, there was no one in the car. It was smoking, and there was no tag on it, and it was pushed off the roadway. It makes people go,
Things to make you go,
Was the car stolen? We don't know.
Yeah.
Does make you think, though.
Yeah, that's kind of...
I've seen it in the movies. You borrow it for a little while, you do something you shouldn't, and a little gas, and then woof.
Yeah, it takes care of your fingerprint.
Yeah. So, again, that's what we know on that. That car fire, that was a black car that caught on fire. It was on the edge of the road there. Off into the bushes it went. Now, we're going to take an educated guess on this next one because I had so many calls, and I know you did too. What's that up in the sky? I can't see. It's hazy in Meridian.
The interstate's getting blocked. We had a lot of smoke in our area.
Now, the best we can do is track this down to Newton County. I spoke with Sheriff Jody Pennington. Man, he'll tell you anything you want to know. If it's happening, he's forthcoming and says, this is what we know and where we are. We had a fire on Highway 503. Let's pull this up, Odie, and show this. This was at a pallet. Look at this. Look how big this is. Now, I'm getting reports that it was still smoldering late.
That is, that wood will produce a lot of heat, and it's hard to get real close to it to even get water on those pallets to fight. But produce a lot of smoke, and that smoke was pushed over in our area. The ceiling wasn't real high, so it was thick, kept the smoke down, and that's what we saw. Philadelphia, Philadelphia, Clark County, Lauderdale County, getting all the remnants of that smoke that came through our area yesterday.
Big thank you to Danny Todd, who went out for me. I couldn't get there because we were tied up with the election yesterday. Danny Todd went out and spoke with everybody on the scene. He said the landowner was burning some brush in a pit on the backside of the pallet factory. The initial fire was hindered due to pallets blocking the driveway. When the fire department pulled up, they couldn't get to it. 500 feet of hand line had to be laid to reach the fire. Forestry was on scene cutting a path due to fire getting into the woods. There were no injuries reported with this. 2 structures were lost, outbuildings. An estimated 1,000 pallets were burned at the time of the story. We could have lost more since then. Again, it was 5:03, close to the Jasper County line is where that went down, and they even had to shut down the road. It was so ferocious. I'm going to word that.
It's tough. And then when you're out in these areas and you don't have a hydrant to get all of your water from, and you have to relay water back and forth from a tanker, it calls for a long day. That deluge gun that you see coming off the top of that truck,
right there.
You're talking 1,200 gallons a minute. All right, the truck itself, that engine's got a 1,000-gallon tank.
Yeah.
Did I say 1,200 gallons?
You
a
said
minute?
12. Yeah.
So that's 1,000 gallons of tank. So how long is that water gonna last?
Not long.
It ain't gonna be a minute.
It's woof. And that's why you see
out.
so many tankers pulling up water at a fire.
Yeah, and that's 3,000 gallons that they can drop. Usually 2,500 to 3,500 gallons that they can drop. So if you don't have a constant flow of water coming through, you don't have a whole lot of water to fight with, and it's a rush.
And let's just go ahead and show you this. Now, this can be purchased at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. Boots and shorts give you this great look to work for volunteer fire department.
Yes, we love to see that kind of enthusiasm on the scene.
It's always the look.
That's because you can tell a fireman will get up. If he's got to go, he's going to grab the first thing he can put on,
Yep.
and he's out the door.
But of
So,
course,
yeah.
of course, these guys are the Mississippi Forestry Commission, and you got to remember, it usually takes them about an hour to get on scene when they're dispatched to go help with these, and they're busy right now. Here's the Newton County Sheriff's Department on the scene there with their Dodge trucks. They're gonna get those washed later today. Y'all don't worry. We're pulling for you, Jody.
Yeah.
And of course, the Mississippi Highway Patrol as well there because the road had to be blocked. This was huge, and again, I'll remind you, this was a burn ban. No matter what you're doing, do not burn right now. This is going to happen if you burn something small.
It's extremely dry. It is dangerous dry. That fire was contained in a pit, he said. It was not going anywhere,
But it
he
is.
thought. And it spread just that quick. One little ember, and it's gone. And if you have a fire that you caused, and this doesn't have to be in a burn ban, this can be at any time, and you have a fire and the smoke covers a road and you can't see and there's a wreck,
You're responsible.
it's your fault because that smoke belongs to you. Every bit of that smoke belongs to you because it came from your fire. So be careful. There's a lot of responsibility that goes with burning trash, even burning out of a barrel. A lot of responsibility. But now Lauderdale, we need to check and see if Austin, I know you're on here, is Newton County still under the state burn ban?
We'll pull that up in a minute if he doesn't answer real quick.
Yeah.
We'll find that out. Make a note of this tomorrow morning. Your travel plans could be interrupted. Let's pull this up, Odie, where everybody can see. This is going to be right off of Highway 19. This is North Hill Street. This is going to be blocked from 8 until 4 from Highway 19, North Hill Street to River Birch Drive. This is that cut through that goes to Walmart.
Yeah.
Right in here is where the Village Kitchen used to be and a Dollar General now.
That's
But
right.
from here to here, 8 to 4 tomorrow morning, this road will be closed on October the 5th. So make a note of that. There's nothing more aggravating when you get there and you go, oof,
Yeah.
you can't travel it. So take care of that. Remember that as we near that. All right.
Yep. Austin did come back. He said, yes, very much so. And look, guys, I'm just going to go ahead and, this is a small Odieism.
What
Y'all
is
ought to
it?
know by now that there's a dadgum burn ban.
Yeah.
There is no reason for you not to know. Or common sense should come in and say, maybe it's not a safe time for me to even burn.
I kind of
But,
agree with that, Odie.
Here's my other one. It's against the law. There's a fine. Write tickets. A lot of this stuff will end when you start hitting the back
Because it
pocket.
is, what is it, roughly a $500 fine to begin with if you're caught
That's number
burning?
one. Number two could be 1,000. Number three, number one, 500. Number two, guess what? Come here. You get 3 hots in a cot, and it ain't gonna be no burial. Ain't like I was a poet and didn't know it. I'm just this right here. I guess being a fireman,
Well, it
being
can-
an emergency man, it burns me up. These people, I didn't know there was a burn ban. Yeah, you did. I ain't listening to that crap. You knew. It's all over.
It's everywhere. Don't burn.
You call 911 and report people that's got fires. Send the fire department out there along with law and get the fire out and put a little fire in their pocket. There you go.
That'll put fire in you. That's
It
for
sure
sure.
will.
We're going to give Odie a glass of iced tea to calm him down. And we'll be right back with This Day in History as we start your day. Garrett Outfitters on 8th Street is getting you ready for summertime. A large selection of cool hobo shirts. Maybe it's short sleeves. Maybe you need a pair of shorts. If you're going to be cutting grass or maybe riding a tractor this summer, you're going to need a straw hat to keep cool. And as you head to that favorite fishing hole, don't forget you'll need a pocket knife along with a great rod and reel. And if you earn your living in the woods, don't forget to check out their big selection of snake boots, Carhartt pants, and shirts for any occasion. It's Garrett Outfitters, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. Summertime has arrived, and Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 has the exact lawnmower for your need. If you've got a big yard with acres and acres to mow, they have a mower for that. No matter the size yard you have, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower that fits you and your budget. From 48-inch all the way up to 60, or the X-Mark lawnmower. Plenty of these to choose from. Also, they carry a complete line of LS tractors. Come by for a test drive today. Financing available. Drop in today to Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, see coleslaw or buttermilk. Have you been wanting your own building, your own shed? Speak to our friends at Best Sadia Building, 601-728-1954. Now, they can custom build you a home from a barn dominium. Maybe it's a shed that you're needing or a simple place to park your car, a garage, a camp house. Maybe you need a place to park your tractor, your motorcycle, or even that lawnmower. They can custom design whatever it is you need. Quality work, trustworthy, Best Sadia Buildings. Speak with Drew, 601-728-1954. You know, every time I look up, this is stuck in my head. I don't know what his real name is, CC Ryder, who comments on here. Elvis pops in my head every time I said CC Ryder. I can't help it.
Oh,
every time I see
man.
it.
Yeah, but he said a mouthful right there. Ignorance of the law is no excuse.
They slam those down in courtrooms every day, and they find people on things of that nature. So,
Yep.
just to be, just to have everything on top there. All
Robin
right,
said, don't pour no cold water on me.
oh, you go to smoking over
man.
here.
Yeah.
Let's step back in time. Let's go back to 1927. This would be the same old boy that would visit Atlanta, Georgia. He would move over to the Dakotas, and we saw this in the film, if you remember, National Treasury. And it's kind of neat to think that something could be hid there.
Yeah.
Work began on Mount Rushmore. Of course, it was never finished. He was supposed to come on down here. I think George was supposed to even have a horse at one time. I know Robert E. Lee was supposed to, and they didn't finish that over there. But that's how it all began.
Man, you know, you sitting here drawing, and you mess up, you can erase it. Or you can wad that down, throw it away, get you another one. That's a mountain.
Yeah,
That's
you're
a rock.
not gonna do that.
No, no, you got one chance.
And I know there's a picture of what it was supposed to look like in the end of the original sketch, but I've forgotten. It's been so long since I saw that.
Man.
But Mount Rushmore, it's a beauty there in South Dakota. If you ever get a chance, go to do that, see it.
Man.
1923, this guy would be associated with the NRA for most of his life, but he started out as an actor.
Yep.
A man's man, you might say, in the movie that put him over the top, Ben-Hur.
That's it.
Charlton Heston was born on this date. 10 Commandments, Planet of the Apes, of which I never watched.
I didn't either.
He passed away in 2008.
That just didn't.
Planet of the Apes just was not my thing. Mm-mm. I remember as a kid, back during that Logan's Run era, they had something like that on, and I was like, huh?
I just didn't get into that.
I didn't either. It was kind of like Star Wars. Y'all keep that. I'm going to stay over
I
here with Burt
watched the
Reynolds.
Star Wars. I watched my Burt Reynolds too, and I watched this one.
1957, it would really change households, and he would become the little menace that everybody knew. And he, to this day, he's still milking this, making a living off of it.
Yeah.
Leave It to Beaver premiered in 1957.
And then Tony, I guess it's been
A year or so?
about a year.
This
since
gentleman
he
right
passed
here.
away. Yeah,
His name was Wally on the show, correct?
that's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that was it. That was a big show. Now, we will move on to night. I've seen this lady in several movies. Now, her thinking and mine are, I'm here, she's like way over yonder. Let me put it as yonder. Anybody ever heard of this young lady named Susan
Sarandon?
Yeah, her. She's got a birthday today. Beautiful woman. She just thinks a little different than me.
Yeah, just a little bit.
But she's a great actress. I give kudos where it's due to you. She truly is a good actress.
Yeah. Rodney says, "Do you get taxed on the smoke you own?" That's the one thing that you can own and don't get taxed on, I reckon.
Must be.
So you're safe when it's not a burn ban.
I mean, have y'all ever really stopped and sat back and thought about taxes? Income tax, gas tax, grocery tax. It's tax after tax after tax.
Yeah.
Your paycheck really means nothing. You're getting about of it. And then if you get a refund, then you're taxed on that. It was your money to begin with.
And then when you die and the money that you saved to give to your kids,
It gets
taxed
taxed
on that.
Have mercy,
Yeah.
have mercy.
It's
What was
terrible.
the old saying? There's nothing true but death and tax. What was that saying?
The only guarantees in life is
Yeah.
death and taxes.
And that's a strong statement. Because ain't none of y'all getting out of this alive. I want y'all to know that. Let's go back to 1961. David Harper is his name. You're not going to know that. Not a bit. But you will know the name Jim Bob.
Yep, you heard it every time they went to sleep.
Hey, Jim Bob. He was born in Abilene, Texas. And boy, he played that part right. He was the one of the Waltons that wanted to work on cars, if I remember right.
I believe you are right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Worked on the sister's car until John Boy took it. What do they call it? The recipe? Is that what they refer to it as?
Was that what it was?
Daddy's
I
recipe?
can't remember.
It seems like that's what they called it. Debbie called me the other day when she was caught up in a Walton marathon and couldn't get away from the Thanksgiving episode. She said, I got to go to work. 1970, a girl named Heidi Newfield would be born. You would know her from a group called Trick Pony in country music. I think they've broke up since then. Poor Me. And they had some other flops, but we'll stick with that one. 1970 also brought about this odd, peculiar woman. She screamed a lot, but she would take a Chris Christopherson song and, well, make a hit out of it. Me and Bobby McGee.
And I tell you, her gruff sound is unmistakable.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Everybody knows as soon as she comes on, start singing who this is.
She died of a drug overdose. Am I not?
I think so.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
She was different, but people loved her just the same. Janis Joplin. She was 1978 came the biggest, I'm going to call it the biggest hoodoo in country music that people go, I ain't believing none of that. Yeah. Something suspicious going on. Even George was. She may be my ex-wife, but I ain't got nothing to do with this.
Yeah, wasn't me.
Tammy Wynette would be supposedly kidnapped on this date. No suspects were ever arrested. She insisted it was true. Her daughter raised doubts about it, claiming that it was all fabricated. Do you think it was?
Yeah. You know, what better way to get your name
Back out
boosted
there.
up is to go missing. Well, what happened to the lady over there in Alabama? She went missing after reporting a
Yes.
toddler on the side of the road, and then come to find out she went to her boyfriend's house or something. Oof. Uh-oh. It's another one of those moments.
Conspiracy theories.
Y'all just don't know what goes on behind the scenes. We're thinking about setting up a camera and doing outtakes. If we may have to wait about 40 more years to let that out.
After we are deceased.
Yeah. But y'all would have fun.
But, you know, what that said, and this is conspiracy theory. You know the alert that's going to be sent out today nationwide?
Between 120 and 150.
That was saying, turn your phone off. It's going to activate the COVID shot that you got.
Well, and it's going to sync your phone
It'd do something
to the closest satellite. So wear tinfoil, have
Better
toilet
call
paper in
Saul.
your ears, and better call Saul, because this is going to be.
You remember his brother that wore the tin and wouldn't go outside and all that? 1980, this would be one of the biggest hits. Don't. That's how it started.
Another one bites the dust.
Y'all remember this? I don't remember who they were that sang it, but
Queen.
Queen, is that who that is?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a local gang. But I do remember that song. Another one's gone and another one bites dust.
Yeah.
Hey. That's all I know from that song.
Get you through. Another one bites the dust.
They played that at a lot of sporting events, I think is why I know that.
A lot of people.
I remember
I can't
this.
say that.
I remember watching George H.W. Bush when he was running for president. Dan Rather was the commentator on it. He makes the comment, he's rolling through Dixie like a tornado through a trailer park. It would be on this date, 1986, that Dan Rather went for a walk in New York. It didn't turn out too well because, well, he was mugged. Ruh-roh.
Poor old Dan.
don't
He'd
know.
rather be somewhere else.
Isn't he clever, y'all? 1988, we would remember this. We all believe in religion. Some people take advantage of religion. I'm going to lean heavy on this side that they were kind of taking advantage of religious beliefs. And I think there's some more when you've got more color to your hair and makeup and stuff. And
Well, could you imagine her monthly makeup bill that he
Yeah.
had to pay for?
Jim Baker indicted on this day back in 88. And of course, we'll remember Jessica Hahn comes to top of mind. And then that network, if I'm not mistaken, would turn into the, what was that next group that got that? They bought Twitty City Conway's house and turned it into a
Compound there.
for broadcasting. And that other lady,
he had the whole university and everything.
yeah, and whoever the lady was that took her place on there had as much makeup as her, and I found it very hard to listen to her too. I'm like, send my money, what? Hank Jr. had a song about that.
You know what they say about women who wear a lot of thick makeup.
They
And
need
this
it?
is not
Is that
saying
what they say? They
well,
need
that's
it?
one of them. And this isn't saying this is everybody, but for the most part, that's women whose husband hit them, knock them around to cover up a black eye.
Yeah.
And if you don't wear makeup, then all of a sudden one day you've got a bunch of makeup on. People go, But if you wear a lot of makeup every day, and when you go to cover up bruises, it doesn't look any different than any other day.
True. Anybody understand that?
I hope. Did y'all keep up? If not, we'll write that down later.
1990, let's go back to television when it was the thing to watch.
Never
It
watched.
began 90210. All I know is this dude here has now deceased, but he played a great part of being Lane Frost in 8 Seconds.
Yes, now I did watch that movie.
That was a good movie. He even went on to do some Hallmark movies that I was forced to watch.
TBN, the
TBN.
Bible Network.
Yep.
That's it.
It seemed like that lady's name was Jan that had the purple hair with eyelashes this long. It looked like that car I saw at Walmart the other day with the things on the front of it.
Oh, it's getting warm in
That
here. Just
woman was
blink.
scary. Luke Perry, Denise said. That's right. That is his name there.
Oh, yeah.
Folks, we lost a legend 1 year ago today. There's no other way to word this. She is, I call her such a lady, as we lost Loretta Lynn 1 year ago today. Can you believe that it's gone by that quick?
That is tough.
There's Dew,
That's him.
Patsy, and I'll think of the other one's name here in just a little bit. They're twins. They've been to Meridian, met them several times. That concludes what happened on this date in history. If you've got one, we'd love to hear from you. Send it to us. We'll add it to next year's. We'll be right back as well. We try to bring a smile and make you think about conspiracy theories.
Don't forget.
Patrick Allen Companies has a wide selection of garage doors that will fit your style, add value to your home, and add curb appeal to your neighborhood. Patrick Allen also has top-of-the-line, energy-efficient replacement windows that will make your home look great while saving you money. We're family-owned and operated, and we take pride in our work. 5305 Highway 145 South in Meridian.
For all your garage doors and replacement windows,
Call Patrick Allen Companies. Safety, service,
satisfaction.
J&J Tire and Muffler, located at 3420 8th Street, invites you by. And if you need a front-end alignment, make sure to try their new state-of-the-art alignment machine. No matter the size of your truck and car, J&J can align it. J&J also has touch-free mounting, laser wheel balancing, and as always, they provide preventive maintenance, including CV axles, shocks, struts, brakes, with the largest selection of new and used tires, along with exhaust systems. Locally owned and operated since 1978 in Meridian. And welcome back. We wanted to bring this up. This is going to be happening tonight in Collinsville. If you can make it out, here we go, as the FCA will be out in full force. A Night for the King will take place around 6 o'clock. Doors open up at 5:45. All kids are invited out for worship to the church. We certainly hope that y'all can make it out.
Yes, that would be good. And so we've got a bunch of them, Robin and Shine, Kim, everybody. Peggy and Patsy.
Peggy and Patsy. I knew I was close. It has been such. I remember I was. Why were they advanced photo? We left upstairs at the Temple Theater when we made pictures, and I just remember being advanced photos with them.
That was that 1 hour photo. Too.
It sure was.
Maybe they wanted to hurry up and get their print.
Could have been. Boy, that's been from moons ago when you had to develop your own stuff.
Yes, it was.
Have mercy. Look, if y'all were wanting to go over to Jackson to the Brandon Amphitheater this weekend, you ain't going now.
Well, you can go, but there ain't going to be nobody there.
Hardy ain't going to be there, as he has canceled 2 shows due to, what do you call it?
Anxiety on a bus wreck.
So that's what's going on. They'll probably be rescheduled or money refunded on that. Call the amphitheater and they'll let you know exactly how to handle that.
I think one of his statements said money will be refunded by the platform you purchased tickets on.
Okay, so he's not making it up is what it sounds like.
Not as of now.
He says he plans to be back on the road by the 12th, and he thanks everybody for the understanding. Our very own from Philadelphia, Sister Madison, they're good people. Known him a long, long time there, but we hope he recovers over that. And that truly is a problem. I know a lot of people that have anxiety.
And the last thing he needs to do is to have anxiety while he's on the road right before he starts a show. So prayers go out to him for speedy recovery on that.
We do hope it works out well for him, and he's back to doing what he does best. Because a lot of people like that old boy.
Yeah,
It big time there. As we talk about performers, did you ever think you'd see somebody that could kind of change the money of a town? And what I'm talking about is Taylor Swift. When she shows up, the economy goes through the roof.
Yes,
I don't even think Garth caused that kind of problem.
I don't either. They were talking about, look, why don't we get back to football? This is football. This has nothing to do because Taylor Swift's up in the box because her now boyfriend, who she's fixing to write a song about,
and
is
dumping
playing football and dumping.
Dumped on the 50th yard line.
Yeah. Now because Kelsey, who was already a star, awesome player, but because he's dating Taylor Swift and she's up in the stands, the Swifties, I think as they call them, they can't produce enough of his jerseys.
I know. It's helping everybody.
It's helping them. And I don't know this.
Those shorts that were $600 sold out that she was wearing, and they weren't that good looking.
Yeah.
Not on her, at least. But, Odie thinks it was. I saw that look. Y'all catch that? But they sold out of them nationwide. People wanted them.
I don't know.
Did you see the rumor to where they thought that she left the box in the refrigerator? They couldn't figure out how she got out. They think she was inside the refrigerator.
I hadn't seen that one.
Those Swifties are everywhere, folks.
They're everywhere. I tell you, that's tough. But yeah, she does.
We had a pretty neat thing yesterday. We reach all areas of the world as we went to Alaska yesterday.
Yeah.
We had pictures sit in as a big thank you to Peggy Sue was watching yesterday from Alaska. And let's look at this. Here's a view of that. Let's make this a little bit. Isn't that beautiful?
Man, that is something.
Oh, beautiful star Bethlehem is what that makes me think.
And that sunshine don't last long. Then they're going to have 6 months of night.
That's right.
I couldn't get used to that.
We had a marshmallow cooking in Meridian, Mississippi yesterday. I'm not sure if everybody's aware of that, but let me get over here to some pictures and show you exactly what things looked like that seem to be disappearing on me, Odie. Where did... Aha!
There it goes.
Here we are. This is the scene behind the Shell gas station there at the little camper spot there as a fire broke out. Look how strong that was. That's how quick a camper can go up.
It does not take long.
That's some dark smoke, and it was, as you'll see, that's a total loss. But fortunately, firefighters were able to save both of these. That was the only one that burned.
Meridian Russell responded along with FS units with the county, able to get that put out pretty quick. It takes a little while to get there now because of the bridge. You got to get people to the fire department. And then once you get to the fire department, then you can go on to the scene. So there's nothing between the fire department and that scene.
Right.
There was some people coming into Marion to get to the fire department. But it's not that bad, and they are moving on with that bridge. They are not.
We need to check back with the mayor and see what we are on timeline
Yeah.
with that.
He had a picture up yesterday on Facebook with a picture of what they've got going on, and the concrete supports are going up. They're still right there on time. They're not losing anything. Weather's been great. He has definitely been keeping up with it, and old mayor's. Now that's a mayor that'll sit down and talk to you.
He will.
He's going to push out what's going on in his city and his town, and he's on top of it, everything. And Mayor, if you're listening, call me today. I'm going to talk to you. But yeah, it's going on. That bridge is going to be nice, and I bet they will be earlier than scheduled.
Think so. Coming up, we're going to tell you Wanted. Who is it? We'll tell you who to be looking for next from the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department. Have you heard? Broadmoor Wine and Spirits is under new management. Now, they're conveniently located at 4900 Poplar Springs Drive, open Monday through Saturday from 10 until 9 for your convenience. They have such a large selection of wine and spirits. That's mixed drinks, boxed wines, brands that you're familiar with. Our shelves are stocked. Come by and let us earn your business. That's Broadmoor Wine and Spirits, conveniently located at 4900 Poplar Springs Drive, under new management. Open Monday through Saturday from 10 until 9.
Meridian's favorite barbecue is Squealer's Barbecue, named the barbecue capital for the state of Mississippi. Whether it's barbecue, wings, or burgers, Squealer's simply has the best for a family environment. Every Thursday night, there's live music out on the porch. Takeout orders are welcome, and whether it's your next tailgate or large catering event, your friends at Squealer's are there to help. Drop in for lunch today or a night out on the town. Squealer's Barbecue, the best in fine barbecue.
Are you ready for summer? Massey has a 2021 Jeep Wrangler that's waiting on you with only 61,000 miles. How about a Rogue with 57,000 miles? A 23 Camry with only 50 miles on it? Or maybe it's a Toyota Tacoma four-wheel drive that you're needing. From Silverados to F-250s, Massey Supermart Auto Sales, 1023 Highway 39 North.
Profit dealer, Massey Supermart.
Well, there's one thing for sure. We know that the Lauderdale County Farm Supply is wide open this morning. If you need feed, seed, fertilizer, they got all of that stuff. Why? Deer season is going on right now. Have you heard about that?
And I tell you, I've heard a few things. It's time to get corn. It's time
Yeah.
to get seed. It's time to get those salt blocks. It's time to get anything you need to draw those deers in, and you can get it right there at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply.
And it's always a question of, well, how much seed do I need? How do I do this? They'll do the figuring for you. Tell them how big your plots are, and they'll figure it up, and you can go on your way. Pretty simple there. Any attractant that you're looking for as well in the hunting world there, as you see all this, the cocaine and the products there, deer like it. They've got it. From cameras to a tent to a deer stand, and the list goes on and on. That's your headquarters for getting all your supplies when it comes to deer season. See them today. Lauderdale County Farm Supply, exit 151, right by the railroad tracks.
I tell you, those cameras are nice because you can keep an eye on what time deer's coming and going, and knowing when the best time for you to get out there in your plot is. So yeah, go down there and visit them,
And you can use
walk out
those
with
for
a load.
security also.
Hey, they work good.
As we mentioned, Lauderdale County, they're looking for somebody, a suspect, as we look for Ivory Edwards. He's a 39-year-old, 5'6", 149 pounds is what we've got here. They're looking for him, if you happen to see. And, you know, a lot of times I get behind-the-scenes stories that you would have never known. I had a mother send me a message about this situation. This gentleman needs to be found by the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department. We hope that happens soon. We'll keep you updated. And I promise you, the Sheriff's Department's going to let us know when he's located.
Oh, yeah.
Billy Solly doesn't fool around with any of that. I talked to Billy yesterday, as a matter of fact, several times. Saw Ward yesterday. Speaking of, I had to ask you, what's that on your face there, Ward? He got tired of his fake mustache falling off, and he actually grew a real one. So don't go up and jank it, because he ain't gonna like it.
Ooh. And I told y'all thought I was messing with you. Saturday, he had hair.
Yeah, he did. A bunch of hair.
Yeah.
We had pictures of it to prove it. But he'll be down at the Rail Fest this weekend at the Railroad Museum telling another story. So you'll get to see the real mustache on him before he gets rid of it.
Yeah, I told him we were at the board meeting. I said, well, you need to just keep that. He said, no. As soon as I get through with this other talk, it's coming off.
You know, and I couldn't be without one. There is one picture, my senior high school picture, where I shaved it off for that, and I wish I hadn't. I feel very weird without it. Hey, we didn't show this of what somebody done in downtown Meridian, and I feel like, let me pull this up where we can show this, Odie, just what people do. Meanness is what it is.
It is.
Here we go. This is turning left onto 8th Street from 22nd Avenue. As you'll go by Super Talk there, look at this. They went down through here, turning over every garbage can there was and strowing it on the street. Is that a word, strowing?
Strolling. It is in the South anyway.
Yeah, there we go. And as you'll see here on the right-hand side of the road, they also did that. So shame is what we're saying. And
somebody's got cameras. And how about getting us some footage? Because I bet we can show who it is. It may not be anything you can do legally, but showing who it was that did that kind of junk. And then Greg walking down the road.
We had this sitting yesterday morning. I thought we would share it. I mean, there's nothing worse than losing a mule. And, well, here he is. He comes up missing quite a bit there. This old fella here was spotted yesterday at Russell Tompton Road. He was going somewhere.
Well, he was headed south. He was going to Barry White's farm because he heard he had a big farm and only 2 cows. He was going to have a lot more room to play. He was going to go down there and hang out with them for a little while.
Oh, have mercy. Let's see. We did have,
man.
as we look at the things that have gone over in Rankin County, you remember the Dirty 5 or the Dirty 6 cops that were arrested and all that? The undersheriff has resigned over all of this. We could probably expect more coming out of that.
Well, his bar even said, is that Barry's? If he'll ever make it down there, it's going to be Barry's.
We are going to have a special news crew sneak up to the Barry Yacht farmland and get a picture of this vast cattleman's place.
Yeah,
it's coming.
It's like a little mini Yellowstone.
Rumor is Sheriff Todd Kemp's going to be working there. He's going to be wrangling cattle after he resigns.
Yeah.
That's just talk. Now, we don't know.
Just talk. We'll let y'all know.
Let me ask this to the people that, especially when we get into Middle Bucket Road, is it time to already start working on the Christmas lights, getting that ready for?
Yeah.
You'd have to, wouldn't you?
As much as they put out, golly, I'd have to just leave mine up. I leave mine up, and I don't have nothing but a string of them little hang 'em down icicle lights.
I think you were featured in a song there one time.
Redneck.
Yeah, the Homes Association.
That's why I own all my land. I don't have to associate with everybody.
I can't imagine being put in a subdivision. I would break every code there was. I mean, where do you people put your junk pile? I got this junk pile here in the bushes that when I need a bolt, I go back there.
Yeah. And, I mean, I got junk now. Amy's, all right, we're going to do something about that. Yeah, I'm going to do something about that.
Like right now, I got an 86 Chevrolet, hood off the thing, sitting in the front yard. My wife's not real happy about it. I got on the other side of the yard, I got a pile of 4-wheel drive tires that I'm going to use one day.
Greg says, you go to Odie's house, and wherever something tears up is where it's still sitting. I said, well, if it tore up, why do I need to drag it somewhere else?
Looks good sitting there.
Yeah, I just cut around it.
Ooh, we want to say thank y'all for joining us. A Wednesday morning has flown by somehow.
Yeah. Man, it's already that time. Thursday's coming. Friday will be here before you know it. And then the weekend again. Mm-hmm. Golly, but
cooler temperatures expected over the weekend of about 70 Saturday and Sunday.
Still doesn't mean that you can have a bonfire.
That's right.
Be careful with it. But look, we've had so much fun being with y'all this morning. And we're going to be back to this again in 23 hours from now. Thank you. Have a great day. We love you.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.